This time on Loving Cars, we'll look at the 2017 Chevrolet Sonic RS. How reliable is it, and whether you should spend money on it? That is next on Loving Cars. Good day, my name is Edwin and this is Loving Cars. Today we're looking at the 2017 Chevrolet Sonic RS hatchback version. Now, the Chevrolet Sonic was designed or started penetrating in the South African market back in 2012. When it was introduced, it was available in two segments. You could either buy it as a sedan or a hatchback. Today we're reviewing the hatchback version, but this one was its successor, which came in later in 2017. When Chevrolet introduced the Sonic in 2012, it had a number of engine problems and transmission problems that nearly killed its reputation in South Africa. So in 2017, Chevrolet tried to rev things up and try to make it a little bit sporty so that it can gain the market in the South African market. Chevrolet was watching and studied the market and realized that the market in the hatchback performance section was dominated by Volkswagen Polos. So this was an attempt of Chevrolet to get a hold of the piece of the pie that Volkswagen was dominating all these years. The Sonic came with a four-door version with the design that actually made it look like it wasn't four-door. Well, they literally call it 5 doors because there's 2 doors on the side and the one at the rear, but seriously, it's just a 4-door version. However, I think the hatchback version looks a little bit better than the sedan one, more especially this one on an RS kit. This car specifically has a 1.4-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 115 kilowatts of power and 168 Newton meters of torque. Yes, it was Chevrolet's attempt to take on Polo GTI, but their attempt wasn't that much successful. This car had a major engine problems and many transmission issues that people just didn't buy the car anymore. And as a result, Chevrolet and GM itself later on ended up pulling out of the count. The 2017 Chevrolet Sonic RS had a fair share of problems. It ranges from engine problems to transmission problems. It never had a lot of electrical issues, but then the two main things that actually contribute into driving and moving the car forward were constantly giving people problems. And as a result, its sales went down, and then GM later on pulled out of South Africa because people just didn't buy Chevrolet cars anymore. And they were not just buying them because they are not good looking. It was because of their unreliability. Specifically on the 2017 Chevrolet Sonic RS, people reported having issues such as engine randomly dying, the car not idling correctly, which was due to the crank positioning sensor and the idling sensor itself. And the issue of the car randomly dying was mostly caused by the throttle housing itself being clogged up, or the fuel filter being clogged up, or the fuel pump randomly dying, or your spark plugs untying themselves due to the vibration of the engine, and the ignition coils just literally dying. It's just an endless supply of nightmares and headache were associated with this car. When we actually come to the transmission side, the transmission also had a problem of hesitating when you were shifting gears. Even when your foot was off the clutch, it just would take a little bit longer to engage on the next gear. It will hump forward when you are in first gear. It was just a nightmare. Let's just put it like that. Chevrolet failed on this car. Well, now comes the real question. Is it reliable, and should you consider buying one? Well, to answer your question, it depends on how you actually drive the car and how long are you intending to keep it. But if you really want to make it your daily driver and want to keep this car for, let's say, in the next 5 years, then no, you shouldn't buy it because it's not that much reliable. It's gonna give you nightmares and problems. And it's a pretty rare car. There are very few in South Africa today, and because of that, you struggle when it comes to finding parts, and you're gonna pay an arm and a leg just to replace very, very simple parts. And if you get involved in an accident, sorting out that particular issue becomes a problem because, well, cars and bumpers and doors are not found at the scrapyard, so you just can't go and find another one. So if you really want to buy the car, think of something else.